In March of 1918, the German army launched the Kaiserschlacht, or Spring Offensive, a series of offenses and pushes using stormtrooper tactics, designed to split the British and French forces and destroy them separately before the eventual arrival of American forces reinforced the diminished and demoralized troops holding against the Germans. Part of this attack was a diversionary attack towards Paris by the German 237th Infantry Division to split the attention of the British and French forces, but halted near the village of Château-Thierry along the Marne River. Unknown to the Allied forces, the Germans planned no further advance in the short term from this position. But, fearing a further attack, the freshly deployed U.S. 2nd Division, which included both Army and Marine units, was rushed to the front to plug the gap between the French lines. Further German probes were met with stiff resistance from the inexperienced but steadfast Marines. Experienced leaders from the French Sixth Army understood the perilous position the Allied forces stood at in the face of a larger and more experienced German army, and suggested a tactical retreat to more favorable positions, to which Captain Lloyd W. Williams of the 5th Marines replied,
"Retreat? Hell, we just got here,"
setting the tone for the actions of the Marines in the coming battle. On June 6, American forces launched a series of frontal assaults on the dug-in German positions in the Belleau Wood. The initial attack by the 1st Battalion, 5th Marines, across an open wheat field under withering machine gun fire, using outdated wave tactics, became one of the most iconic moments of the war. The Marines advanced through the wheat field, facing artillery, gas, and machine gun fire. Gunnery Sergeant Daniel Daly, already a two-time Medal of Honor recipient from his heroic actions in the Boxer Rebellion and the U.S. occupation of Haiti, rallied his men with the cry,
Come on, you sons of bitches. Do you want to live forever?"
Casualties were severe, and only a small foothold was made into the southernmost outskirts of the wood. The battle devolved into brutal, one-on-one close-quarters combat. The dense forest terrain was ideal for defense. German machine gun nests, often protected by barbed wire and overlapping fields of fire, made progress increasingly slow. The Marines employed aggressive tactics, including small unit assaults with grenades, shotguns, and bayonets. Fighting was often hand-to-hand, with young Americans slam-firing shotguns into German positions and committing deadly dances in bayonet combat. Dan Daly was recommended for a 3rd Medal of Honor after he single-handedly charged and destroyed a heavily fortified German machine gun position with nothing but his Colt M1911 and a handful of hand grenades, taking 14 German prisoners. The 3rd medal was rejected, but he was awarded with the Distinguished Service Cross, the Navy Cross, and the French Médaille Militaire. Overall, control of large swaths of the woods changed hands several times during this period. Each gain came at a high cost in blood and effort. By late June, American forces, reinforced with artillery support, launched a final coordinated assault on the remaining German positions. On June 26, after weeks of brutal combat, the 2nd Division successfully cleared Belleau Wood of all German resistance, and the area was declared secure. The famous Marine Corps report to General Pershing was a simple yet powerful line: "Wood's now U.S. Marine Corps entirely." The Battle of Belleau Wood cost the U.S. dearly. 9,777 casualties were reported, with approximately 1,811 killed, many of them Marines. German losses were also heavy, although exact figures vary. Despite the high toll, the victory had massive symbolic value. It marked the first major offensive victory by American forces in World War I, and was believed at the time to have halted the German advance toward Paris. Looking back at the battle, it seems to be a costly and ultimately useless instance of commanders throwing troops at fortified enemy positions in hopes of gaining a small portion of ground. Belleau Wood, even at the time, was seen as an area of small strategic importance once it became known that the southern legs of the Spring Offensive were a diversionary assault. But no matter the strategic importance of the battle, it signified to the Allies and the enemy that the American military was a serious force. For the U.S. Marine Corps, Belleau Wood became a defining moment. Their bravery and effectiveness in the battle earned them a permanent place in the American military legend. The Germans reportedly nicknamed them Teufelshunde, devil dogs, a term the Marines proudly embrace to this day.